Hello, and welcome to the Siemens Connect podcast series with your host, myself, Christine Moran. If you're new to listening, each podcast will have a special guest from our Siemens Connect ecosystem. Our Siemens Connect ecosystem allows Siemens to partner with third-party companies to establish integrations to Siemens systems. Today, we'll be talking with Kevin from our partner, Elemental Machines. Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Doing well, Christine. I hope all is well with you.
Yeah, all is well with me. Do you want to start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I've spent the last 20 years of my work life with technology companies, providing services to life sciences companies as well as other focused verticals. So I'm responsible for the Siemens Elemental Machines relationship on a global basis. One of my most important tasks from the get-go in working with Siemens was to ensure that we not only add value based on an integrated value that we bring to the ecosystem, but also listen to the customer's needs and address the needs of the customer in that ecosystem. As such, I have worked with the Siemens engineering team, and we've developed an integration that basically enables last mile connectivity within buildings. I will elaborate on the last mile connectivity as we go into our platform so that makes more sense. But before we go there, I want you to know that the next 15, 20 minutes will be a game changer because you have made investments. We're working with Siemens and the Siemens ecosystem. And with the content that hopefully I'll be sharing with you in the next 15, 20 minutes, you'll see that you can add a lot of insights to an existing system you've consumed. And more importantly, you'll see the differentiators and hope that it will be a useful time spent together.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn more. So I guess just going off that, you want to tell me a little bit more about what Elemental Machines does?
Sure. So think about those hundreds of lab equipment or production equipment, incubators, balances, cold storage, so on and so forth, and making data extraction and insights available inside of an umbrella called the ecosystem. Elemental Machines provides that last mile connection. So you think of the ecosystem connecting all the various functionality within a building and managing it. Now we're going to bring you down to the level of those hundreds of manufacturers that develop freezers, fridges, incubators, balances, and so on and so forth. Elemental Machines platform is an intelligent LabOps platform that extracts data from all of those equipment and through our integration passes that along to the ecosystem. Now, can you imagine, for example, spending hundreds of millions of dollars on research? And while you're away from your facility, a major outage happens on a particular device. It could be a centrifuge, it could be a cryo unit, it could be an incubator, and so on. What we've done with our integration, we have made that data and viewing of the operation of a device available to this Siemens ecosystem. In short, with our artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities, we also provide customers the equipment usage and how their CapEx investments are being leveraged. Some of those metrics we provide and make available to the ecosystem could be how long has a device been on? Is the device idle? Has it been running? How long has it been running? Does it require additional maintenance? It's a fascinating job and a fulfilling job that I have because we've been able to use those insights with some of our customers and save them hundreds of thousands of dollars in maintenance fees, redundant purchases. More importantly, when it comes to managing and monitoring the equipment remotely, we've been able to save our customers massive amount of investment and time to market time is what we refer to it. And by virtue of our platform, they've been able to really walk away from their facility overnight or over the weekends and have the ability that if something ever goes wrong inside of the very specific equipment inside of their lab, by virtue of our integration, we will make an informed decision, inform the ecosystem, and that's really in a nutshell what Elemental does when it comes to the Siemens ecosystem.
Cool. Yeah, and I know you just mentioned a little bit about life sciences and labs as you were talking about what Elemental does. Are these the only two markets that you guys focus on only, or do you play in other markets as well?
We do play in other markets, but the last few years, our focus has been in the life sciences industry and ensuring that we remain the leader in that space. However, when you think about issues related R&D environments or production facilities, they're kind of universal. We have the ability to provide a GMP, GXP across multiple industries, for example. So think of conditions throughout a manufacturing life cycle: humidity, temperature, O2 and CO2, ambient and air, and other variables that could affect the outcome of a manufactured part or vaccine. Well, we know that this ecosystem provides a very holistic approach and a powerful approach to managing and operating a building. But now with our integration, we have the ability to extend the amount of data that we make available in this ecosystem, not only in life sciences and laboratories, but also in other industries as we start to get additional traction with Siemens. It's really not just tied to life sciences. Any building that's connected that requires additional insights from different types of equipment, we can provide that. But certainly, you've heard of us in the biotech and the pharma industries, and that is where I could say proudly that we are the leader in that space, and we'll continue to basically join hands with massive number of new logos every quarter. And we're really excited to be here with Siemens and at bringing additional insights to the Siemens customer base.
Yeah, we're excited to have you too as part of our program. So one of the things that you've mentioned before is Desigo and the integration that we have with you for this. Can you state the benefits of the wireless versus non-wireless technologies that you spoke about?
Sure. Wireless technology certainly have made it a lot easier for customers to connect to platforms. That's a sure thing. So think about Elemental's last mile connectivity that we keep talking about, those hundreds of manufacturers and equipment that we extract data from. We do it in 100% wireless operation mode. This is key. Because imagine having 50 to 100 devices that you now decide you want to extract valuable insights and data from. We are a pure IoT and IT-less system. So you don't have to have a heavy lifting from an IT department and project management, drilling holes in the walls or figuring out how to make the connectivity available. We believe wireless was the way to go. Basically, all of our architecture has been on a wireless. We do provide some options to some of our customers to consume some of the data if they do have a requirement for an Ethernet connection, as an example. But for the most part, most of our sensors are operating on a wireless mode. The other thing that I mentioned earlier was when we don't engage IT, there are no requirements for drilling, a massive amount of infrastructure costs that you take on. Wireless in some form is essentially less costly. So that is why we run most of our sensors wirelessly, and that is why we believe it is the way of the future.
Cool. And so another question that I have for you is around going back to the life sciences and labs. Obviously, those two markets usually have some sort of compliance needs when integrating any sort of technology. How does your platform help with these compliance needs?
We certainly do provide that to our customer base. So when you think about the world of audits, or you think about let's say a CDC or an FDA approval, electronic data record keeping is absolutely cardinal. So with a combination of Elemental machines and a Desigo system, we can provide CFR Part 11 compliant reports specific to equipment used for example, let's say a bioprocess as an example, or a specific manufacturing process. And all the relevant conditions, ambient conditions, for example, in a facility, or specific device information relevant to a product can be produced with a touch of a button. Quality assurance, quality control personnel within companies can now take advantage of the availability of this data, of this last mile data. I'd say it's a beautiful world when quality personnel with that touch of a button can produce all of that data, irrelevant if it's for regulatory submission or perhaps it's for an audit, internal or external audit. Earlier I mentioned we're all about adding value to the customer, to a Siemens customer base and the customer's ecosystem. This is yet another way that we could do that, and we do that through providing additional capabilities to help you with your compliance and regulatory submissions.
And so thank you for joining us today. I've got two last questions for you. I've learned quite a bit already, but I'm curious now. So obviously you're part of our Siemens Connect ecosystem. So I'm curious what compelled you to join us.
I'd say first and foremost, our customers. We heard loud and clear there was an opportunity for us to connect that last mile. And then the fact that there were so many use cases that our customers brought to us. We knew there was no better way to go but to serve the Desigo customers. There was no other way but to develop this integration. It's been a wonderful journey for us, and we believe that our combined platforms are the state-of-the-art connectivity for facilities of all types, and specifically laboratories in the life sciences industries. Facility managers, lab managers, automation engineers, and most importantly, scientists now have access to all that data. We had to do this. And for that reason, we joined the Desigo ecosystem, Siemens ecosystem, and developed this integration. We're proud to say that we are here to help our customers. We're here to provide value. And thank you, more importantly, to the Siemens team for accepting our offer to become part of your ecosystem.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us. We've covered a lot in this podcast. I've learned a lot already in this podcast. So out of everything that we've talked about, what would be one takeaway that listeners should walk away with?
Great question. I'd say the takeaway is to take action now. Protect yourself and your costly investments in science, storage, manufacturing processes. And when you leave your facility, leave with a peace of mind. Never lose another soccer practice, as I say to a lot of my friends, or lose thousands and in case millions worth of value of a progress, samples, data. Have a peace of mind. These are all very achievable and in fact very affordable. Very simple way. It is a very simple way for you to consume our technologies. One thing that I do want to leave you with is with the Siemens customer ecosystem, we provide demonstration and trial sensors that allows you to experience the power of integration. And if you're not convinced, we simply say thank you for the opportunity. So the time is now. Take action now, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Cool. Well, thank you, Kevin, for joining me today to talk about elemental machines. And thank you to everyone who's taken the time out of their day to listen to us. Please remember our entire series is on demand. And for more information, visit the marketplace and you can find more information on elemental machines and be on the lookout for our next episode.